Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today we will study microeconomics. Our chapter is market equilibrium and three topics we will study: market equilibrium, free entry and exit, shifts in demand and applications. Right? First we will discuss market equilibrium, free entry and exit. Earlier we have studied where the number of firms has been fixed, right? Number of firms in the market has been fixed. Now we will study free entry and exit. What happens when there is free entry and exit of firms in the market? Let us take an example. If there is a situation in the market where existing firms are earning supernormal profit. What is supernormal profit? When they are earning more than normal profit, right? They are recovering their cost also and opportunity cost also, that is called normal profit. Beyond that is called supernormal profit. So we suppose a situation in the market where supernormal profits is being earned by the firms which are existing in the market. Seeing supernormal profit, those firms which are outside the market will be tempted to come inside the market, right? They will also join, and what will happen? Supply will go up, right? So when the supply goes up, naturally prices will come down. So when prices come down, gradually it will erode supernormal profit, right? So once again the firms in the market, existing as well as the new firms which have come recently, once again they will start earning normal profit, right? Supernormal profit position is there. New firms are tempted to come inside the market. They come, produce, supply. Level of supply increases. When level of supply increases, prices come down. So when the prices come down, once again from supernormal profit, firms come down to normal profit, right? Another example. In the market, right now the existing firms are earning less than normal profit. Then what happens? When they earn less than normal profit, it means they are not able to recover their expenses plus opportunity cost. So they are incurring losses. So when the existing firms incur losses, then some of the firms will leave the market. They will not be able to sustain, or they will take a decision to leave because they don't want to incur losses. So when they leave, the number of firms in the market reduces, and once again they start earning normal profit because the number of firms has reduced in the market and existing firms start earning normal profit. So this is what happens in case of free entry and exit of firms in the market. It keeps on normalizing and bringing all firms at. So market equilibrium, free entry and exit, what happens? We assume that all the firms are identical, right? It's not that some firm is very small size, some is very large size, and some is extremely large size. They are identical, so that a fair comparison can be made, right? And it also implies that in equilibrium, no firm earns supernormal profit, neither any firm earns less than normal profit, means incurring losses when they are producing. And that way what happens? equilibrium price is equal to minimum average cost, right? So till the time that price is, means let us take it other way around, minimum average cost is less than equilibrium price, they will keep on producing till the time that market price is higher than minimum average cost, they will keep on producing. When market price becomes equal to minimum average cost, at that point of time they will be earning normal profit. The moment minimum average cost goes above market price, it means they have started incurring losses, and that point they will stop, right? So with free entry and exit, each firm will always earn normal profit at current market prices, right? That's clear. And at price more than minimum average cost, they will keep on producing. At price lower than minimum average cost, they will stop producing, right? And at price is equal to minimum average cost, each firm in the market will earn a normal profit, so there will be no temptation for new firms to come in, nor existing firms will exit. So they will remain wherever they are, right? Free entry and exit of firms, it also implies that market price will always be equal to minimum average cost, right? Market price will always be equal to minimum average cost, right? And what is that? P is equal to minimum AC, minimum average cost, and equilibrium price is equal to minimum cost of the firm. Equilibrium price is equal to minimum average cost of the firm, right? So now we go ahead. In equilibrium position, quantity supplied will be determined by the demand in the market, right? Demand at that price, so that both are equal. Which price? Market price, so that both are equal and there is equilibrium in the market, right? So at P0, what happens? There is a price. At P0 what happens? Each firm supply the same amount of quantity or output. At P0, price 0, each firm in the market, which is there in the market, supplies same amount of output, right? And that we call QOF, right? So now we will go ahead. This way I think basic idea becomes clear, and we move ahead. Where do we go? We go to the graph. This graph. What is this graph? It is price determination with free entry and exit of firms. You will find P0 is equal to minimum AC, minimum average cost, we have already discussed, right? Price will be fixed at minimum average cost. And this is price, this is quantity, and equilibrium is made at P0 price, Q0 quantity, and market demand curve cuts the minimum average cost line at E. So equilibrium is established here, where price is P0, which is equal to minimum average cost, and quantity supplied and demanded is equal to Q0, right? So equilibrium is established where a market demand curve cuts the minimum average cost, that is point E. Now market will be in equilibrium at point E, at which the demand curve DD, which we have already discussed, cuts the price line, which is P0 is equal to minimum average cost, right? And at P0, which is equal to minimum average cost, each firm in the market supplies the same quantity, right? Same quantity. Now let us take an example. We will take an example here. Suppose we are talking about farms which are engaged in production of wheat, right? Market for wheat. We are considering market for wheat. So demand curve in the market for wheat is equal to like this. Is equal to demand curve for market for wheat is 200 minus P for prices right. This is, what is this? Demand curve for wheat, quantity demanded is equal to 200 minus P for when the price is equal to or less than 200, and the same thing is 0 for if the price is more than 200, if the price is more than 200, the demand is 0, right? Now we assume that market consists of identical farms producing wheat. Market consists of identical farms, and the supply curve of such a single farm, the supply curve of such a single farm is equal to 10 plus P for 10 plus P for when P is equal to or more than 20, right? And the same thing is 0 for P is equal to less than 20, right? For, or we can say for 0, right? We can say if the price is less than 20, there is no supply, right? So how do we arrive at equilibrium price? What is the equilibrium price? We need to remember two things, two very simple things, right? First is free entry and exit of the firms means that these farms, wheat producing farms, will not produce below minimum average cost, which we have already discussed. P is equal to minimum average cost. Market price is equal to minimum average cost. Below that they will incur loss, right? They will not produce below minimum average cost. Otherwise they will incur losses. Second thing, as we know, already we are knowing, with free entry and exit of farms, market will be in equilibrium at a price which is equal to minimum average cost of the farms, minimum average cost of the farms. Therefore, equilibrium price is equal to, what is the equilibrium price here? What is the equilibrium price here? See, up to 200 there is demand. More than 200 demand is 0, right? So far as supply is concerned, supply will be 10 plus P for if the price is equal to or more than 20. Equal to or more than 20 means that, and second thing, it will be 0 for less than 20. So this means that below 20 there will be no supply. So what is the equilibrium price? Is 20, right? Equilibrium price is 20. Then what do we do? What is the QD then? QD is equal to 200 minus P, 200 minus 20 is equal to 180. Demand is 180, right? Now what about supply by the firm is equal to 10 plus P. 10 plus P is equal to 10 plus 20, price is 20, is equal to 30. So equilibrium quantity 180, one firm supplies at this price 30 kg. So the number of firms required for supplying this much is 180 upon 30 is equal to 6, right? Correct? So number of firms required to supply is equal to Q0 upon QFS. What is the Q0? We have got, what is the Q0 that we have got? 180 divided by SF is 30. So total number of firms required to supply this in the market is 6, right? So equilibrium supply is 180, right? One firm supplies 30. So total number of firms required in the market is 6. Now we go to shifts in demand, right? What happens when the market demand curve moves? We will discuss two diagrams, right? Let us see this one. Vertical is price, horizontal is quantity, right? And original equilibrium is at E, price is P0 is equal to minimum average cost, quantity is Q0, and our market demand curve is DD0. Now, suppose market demand curve moves to the right. It has moved to the right and we have shown the direction here. It has moved to the right. Then what happens? Then you will see that quantity increases, means demand increases. When we see this position, demand increases and number of firms increases in the market. So when the market demand curve shifts to the right or outside, then two things happen, right? What happens? Demand goes up and number of firms in the market goes up at the same level of price. Here you will find price is P0 and original equilibrium was at E with quantity being Q0, but now with the shift of demand curve to the right or outside, price remains the same P0 and demand increases from OQ0 to OQ1, and OQ1 is larger than OQ0. So demand has increased, number of firms have increased. Now we see another scenario where market demand curve shifts inward or to the left. Here is the arrow. Market demand curve has shifted from DD0 to DD2. It has shifted inwards, leftwards. Then what happens? Demand goes down, means there is excess supply. There is excess supply, so demand has reduced, which we have shown through this arrow, and number of firms in the market has also decreased. Initial equilibrium was at E with price being at P0 is equal to minimum average cost, quantity being Q0. new equilibrium with the shift of the market demand curve from DD0 to DD2 inwards or leftwards has created a new equilibrium position point at G with price remaining the same at P0 or minimum AC and demand having declined from OQ0 to OQ2, and OQ2 is shorter, is smaller than OQ0, right? So when the demand curve shifts rightward or outward, demand increases, there is excess of demand and number of firms increases. Price remains the same. When the market demand curve moves inside or leftwards, then demand declines and number of firms also declines with the price remaining the same, right? So we have discussed shifts in demand. Now we will discuss applications. What are applications? Several times we come across in our economy, in our markets, we see that the prices of certain necessary commodities like food, electricity, gas, certain medicines are determined by the government. Government determined prices, right? So one is market determined prices and another is government determined prices. So in order for more and more people to be able to afford the necessary items of life, government determines a price ceiling. What is price ceiling? Right now over my head ceiling is there, so I can't go beyond that ceiling. So the price determined by the government in respect of these necessities which are very important for the life of an average citizen, the government fixes the price ceiling. So the moment you say price ceiling, it always means that ceiling is not like this, ceiling is like this, means government will put it below the market price, right? Below the market price. Suppose some gas, medicine, electricity or food is 100 rupees market price. So in order for it to be available, accessible to more and more people, government will put a ceiling of 90 rupees, not 100 rupees. Then what happens? When the government puts a price ceiling, what happens? You can see it here, right? Original price was P star and supply in the market was Q star, right? Original price was P star, quantity supplied was Q star. So the government puts a ceiling on the price and price ceiling is this, below P star, market price. So what happens? The moment government puts a ceiling on the price, means put some government determined price which is lower than the market price, the demand for that good increases and at the same time supply decreases, right? So what happens? Government has done it so that more and more people are able to take the advantage of the necessary items, but the effect has come opposite, the other way round. Government has put up a price ceiling, means lower than the market price. So what happens? The demand increases, supply decreases, supply becomes here. Price has been reduced, right? So demand has come here from OQ star to OQC, but supply has been reduced to Q prime C, right? And the intersection is here. We always know market supply curve is upward sloping, market demand curve is downward sloping, and the intersection is here and here. So at market price P star, quantity supplied, what happens is Q star. But when the government puts a ceiling below market price, the quantity demanded increases to QC and supply reduces to this one here. So there is a gap. So the government makes it compulsory for the people that nobody can buy more than a certain quantity, and they need to avail it from fair price shops or public distribution system or whatever, right? So here two problems come. First, people need to stand in queues for a long time. Second thing, certain people may not be satisfied with the quantity supplied to them, right? So due to these two problems arise. One, people need to stand in queues at fair price shops or public distribution shops to get their goods. And second thing, certain people, many consumers will not be happy with the quantity supplied, so they will be willing to pay more for getting more quantity. So that will give a rise to black market, right? That will give rise to black market. And what happens? People will buy from outside at higher price. Then this price selling government puts for necessary items so that more and more people can afford, right? Then another is price floor. I am standing on the floor means I cannot go below this. As I cannot go beyond the ceiling, I cannot go below the floor. So floor price. What happens in floor price? That is mainly connected with the price of agricultural commodities, agricultural goods and wages, right? The government does that to protect the interest of agricultural class and the labor class. So suppose market price is 100 rupees per kg, whatever, rice, and government puts floor price. What is the floor price? 110. You cannot buy below 110. So in ceiling, market ceiling, the government determined price is lower than the market price. In floor price, the government determined price is more than the market price. There, lower than the market price, and here more than the market price. So what happens? Original price is P star, supply is Q star. So government puts a floor. Floor means it will be higher than the market price. So the moment the price is increased, suppliers will supply more, right? Price has been increased, so supply will be more, right? When the supply is more, then what happens? Many suppliers will not be able to sell their produce, so they will try to reduce their price and get at the point where they can sell more and more. You see here at P star, quantity supplied is Q star, quantity, and when the price is increased, quantity supplied is more but quantity demanded is less. Why demanded is less? Because the price has increased. At higher price, demand will be less, supply will be more, right? So government also does one thing. Government puts a minimum support price and buys from the farmers, agriculturists at that price, so that the agriculturists don't have to sell at very low price and incur lot of losses. So this is done to protect mainly the interest of agricultural people engaged in agriculture and those who are in daily wage labor, right? So, right, but when the government imposes a floor higher than the equilibrium price at PF, the market demand is QF. Market demand is QF, right? Because why market demand is QF? Because price has gone up. Higher the price, lower the demand. Higher the price, higher the supply. And this is the demand market demand curve. This is the market supply curve. Initial equilibrium was here, right? But when the government floor higher than the equilibrium, the market demand is QF, whereas the firms want to supply this one. Firms want to supply this one because price has increased, right? So I hope you found it easy to understand. I tried to make it simple. In case of any query, you may please approach me on my email ID, which will be there at the thumbnail to the video. Thank you very much.